Hi everybody, Sai here. I'm one of the team that's organising Halton Rocks 2020. There's going to be quite a lot of Halton Rocks content coming your way over the coming days and weeks as we start to reveal the lineup. And we're going to let you know which artists and which bands you can see on the night. Really exciting lineup, really strong. Looking forward to sharing it with you guys. Thank you for watching this video to everybody who's watching it. Just by watching this video, you're taking an interest in what we do and supporting us. Everyone who's following our event page on Facebook and the various social media that we're doing, thank you. So let's get on with it. We've got an interview for each act. I got together with the team before we did this because we knew we'd need like a little introduction segment before each one. And the team said to me, look, we've got a little bit of budget. Lockdown measures are eased a touch now. We can drive to places if you want to film on location. What do you want to do? And it's been a long-standing ambition of mine to introduce musicians from in front of a baby gate. So that's a little box ticked for me. So we're on location at the baby gate, and let's have, without any further ado, the next act to appear at Halton Rocks 2020.
Gareth Eason. Gareth, thank you so much for joining us today to talk about Halton Rocks. Thank you so much for doing Halton Rocks and saying yes to it.
Oh, no, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me back again. It's always an absolute joy.
Nice one, Gareth. And like I say, thanks so much. We're always grateful to you. You've done quite a lot of our events over the years, and we're doing things a different way this year. We've got to Zoom and we've got to be socially distant. And I can see where you're set up there. It's giving me a window into your life. I can see your front room and your artistic pictures and your setup. And you've got a really fancy compressor mic, and you've got your guitars to hand by the looks of it.
I do, yeah. This is my home studio. This is my home space. So once it's no longer the family room, it becomes my room. So I've got loads of pictures of me that my wife done last year, and that is the one at the back is one of my wife's favourite artists, and we've got a couple of his pictures in the room. So you're actually quite lucky. We've been in 2 years, and we decorated the other week. So you're seeing a newly decorated room.
Looks it, mate. Looks beautiful. Looks like a really nice place. With you having the microphone set up and the guitar to hand, it's going to give you a chance to redeem yourself, because on the one hand, I feel absolutely furious with rage and anger because you're not wearing your cowboy hat. But go on.
I'll put it on the minute. It's always
nice too late.
It's always sat right behind me.
Nice. It's too late now. But on the other hand, seeing as you've got your mics out and your guitars out, we can maybe redeem that later with a little song. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think we can do that. No problem.
Yeah, he's a good man. He's a good man. All right, so Gareth, I've known you quite a few years now. Not too many years. And I know that you were kind of going on the music scene quite a long time before our paths crossed. So educate me and educate our viewers. What's your story? How did it all come about for you on the music scene?
Well, weirdly, I started way back when, back in the 90s with Peter Clark. I was in a band with Al Clarkey back in when we were in Halton College.
My sympathies.
Oh, he quit. He didn't last long. I don't know why. We did have Cy Farrell in the band as well. No, so
wait. Hold up there.
What's that?
You started a band. You invited one of my best mates, Clarkey. You invited one of my other best mates, Farrell. What's wrong with me, Gareth?
I didn't start this band. We were just in college, and weirdly, on one of the first days, I got talking to Cy in one of the rooms. You know, Cy being the shy type, I had to bring him out of his shell a little bit. Or maybe it was the other way around. And we just got talking. Obviously, him and Clarkey were already close. And we just got doing some stuff. I think I helped kind of when we went to college. I was heavily into Nirvana Unplugged. That was the reason I picked up a guitar. Everyone else was playing all the Oasis stuff. And as much as we'd done some of that, we wanted to be a bit different. So I think me being a little bit different made me stand out a little bit. And I was trying to play stuff like what was it? Layla by Clapton, but the unplugged version. So rather than dive more into the acoustic side of things, so I think that helped me stand out of not wanting to be Liam Gallagher from some of the people. So yeah, we got talking. I never considered myself a singer back in them days. And Si just said, "Do you want to be in a band, do some backing vocals?" And Si was playing drums then. And then we got Peter Cliff in on bass, and it was a nice band. We had fun. Saying I can't remember. Clark left, and we got another singer in. It was fun for a bit longer. And then I stopped doing anything for music for a long time, more than 10 years, and then slowly, kind of what 4.5, 5 years ago, maybe touch over 5 years ago, I started playing again and started looking at doing gigs. It's about 5 years since my first gig now, I think.
Well, that's probably more or less the kind of time I've known you then when you made your comeback. Yeah. It was interesting when you were telling me the story there about that band. So, because one of the things you're really well known for now, amongst a number of things, you're a terrific guitarist, a really great songwriter. But I think what's most prominent about you is you're a great singer, hell of a singing voice. And when you tell that story, then you started out only doing backing vocals. So at the time, did you not really consider yourself a vocalist at the start?
No, I mean, I never really considered myself great at anything. Other people tell me I'm great, and it's like I have such a hard time with that. Just like I just sing. I just open my mouth and do it. I do. I spend a long time practicing, more so my voice than guitar. I now consider myself a singer, and I use the guitar to back up my singing.
Yeah.
But as for playing the guitar, I don't put anywhere near enough time into doing that as I should. But
okay. And then the other thing you mentioned there when you were talking about your influences and in those early stages when you were just starting out, you were into the Nirvana Unplugged album, which I enjoyed hearing you say that, because obviously, I mean, they were a great band, but everybody loves In Utero and Nevermind, the actual studio albums. But I think the Unplugged album gets really overlooked. The Unplugged album was terrific. What's your favourite song off there?
Oh, I think, depending on my mood, but probably one of my favourites on there is "Where Did You Sleep Last Night?"
Yeah.
It's just the contrast where it goes from so kind of low and almost lazily flowing through bits of the song.
Yeah.
So that just raw emotion coming out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was blown away. I remember, I was in college, and you wouldn't tell it now looking at me. I used to go to the gym every day after college, and he had a TV with MTV on the corner. So I was there one day, and I was working out on I think I was on the running machine, which was right underneath the one telly they had in the gym. And I think About a Girl came on. And I was like,
oh yeah,
that's good. And I was like, really enjoyed that. And then Man Who Sold the World came on, and I think their version of that was just out of this world good.
It was.
So I was just mesmerised. I was like I want to know how to do that. And I kept going in my head. So go on. I mean, this is in pre-internet days as well, so I had to figure out. As much as I'd heard of Nirvana, I wasn't into them. I'm still not into massively heavy stuff.
Right.
It's just not for me. I mean, I enjoy listening to it now and again, dipping into it, but it's not something I really stay with for a long time. But so I had to go and figure out who they were. Found the whole show on MTV, recorded it, videotaped it off the telly, sat there and watched it.
That whole Unplugged album is a masterpiece, and again, you mentioned about recording the whole show. Of course, those MTV Unplugged sessions, and you can go and listen to them online, but the videos are there. It's all recorded, filmed, and if anyone's not watched that, it's well worth a watch. And clearly, I think there was a lot of Unplugged going on at the same time. MTV, it was the early 90s, and they must have had an impression on you, because you mentioned Clapton there as well, that you wanted to do the acoustic version of Layla, which was on his Unplugged album. I love Old Love off that recording. You know that track.
Yeah. The whole period of MTV Unplugged was its absolute prime. I mean, even the heavier bands like Alice in Chains, where their version of Rooster, the Unplugged of that is great. Goo Goo Dolls as well. But then you've got people like Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah.
You've got. I mean, if you go through it, I loved the Cranberries as well when I was younger.
Yeah.
But only the first two albums. I think some bands like the Cranberries, I think they deteriorated in production.
Yeah.
After the first two albums, so the first two Cranberries albums were sublime, and that Unplugged again was great. I think even if you go I'm not a massive Oasis fan, but even if you look at that Oasis Unplugged, then that was the very tail end of the MTV Unplugged sessions for me that were kind of up there. And I mean, even that was a great session.
It was. I mean, I love Oasis myself, but like you say, the Cranberries Unplugged, the Oasis Unplugged, that whole series of concerts, it was so good. And you said Stevie Ray Vaughan as well. I remember the first Stevie Ray Vaughan song I ever heard was When the House is Rocking, Don't Bother Knocking. And it was so piano driven. I was convinced he must be a piano player. It was only then when I started, sort of exploring him a bit further, I realised, no, actually, this guy plays the guitar. He's just got one hell of a good band.
From that song, yeah, you probably would. For me, it was Pride and Joy, the first one I heard. And, there's no mistake in that. That's Stevie Ray Vaughan through and through, isn't it? It's his complete sound. Yeah, such a good song.
Okay, so those are your influences and a little bit about your history. I can't imagine there's many people who enjoy watching local music who haven't seen you yet, because you're such a hard-working artist. I mean, I don't know. When you think about who's the most hard-working, who just gigs and gigs and gigs and gigs, I think about people like yourself and Mon Green, who just work so hard. So I can't imagine there's many people who's not heard you yet. But let's just say, for argument's sake, anyone coming to Halton Rocks who's maybe not familiar with Gareth Eason, what should they expect?
Well, I think what should they expect is generally honest songwriting. I'd say now my biggest influences are kind of the more country-based artists. There's a guy called Don Williams who I absolutely love. So there's a lot of that, but there's still elements of the old rockier stuff. Someone kind of wants a cross between Bob Dylan and Bon Jovi. Yeah, it's and then I'd say a recent one was a cross between Johnny Cash and Roy Orbison, which again I'm gonna take as a great compliment. Two fantastic artists. It's songwriting along. It's a lot of relationship-based songs that, either being about love or heartache, or even about my kids, whatever it is. It's things like that. Storytelling songs.
Well, the best songs come from emotive places, don't they? And some of those people that you're being compared to, that's pretty good company. And I'd agree with it too, because I think you're a terrific artist.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And at the time that we're recording this, Gareth, I believe, I was told recently, this is week 9 of the lockdown. I've kind of lost count, but somebody told me. I'm hoping we'll get this interview out kind of 2 weeks-ish from the time of recording, so we don't know what stage in lockdown we're going to be at come then. But I'm interested to know how, I've been asking this to all of the artists I've been speaking to recently, about how you're relating to lockdown. And I don't want to ask you on a personal level, because your personal business is your personal business, but on an artistic level, how do you relate to it? What have you observed? How do you feel about it? Has it influenced your music? Has it influenced the way you think about life? What's your take on it?
Well, I think the way I think about life, I don't think that's really changed much. I try and appreciate the little things that happen. I think right now more than ever we have to appreciate those little things. So I mean, for songwriting, I must admit it's ground to a halt at the minute, because I mean I'm really only seeing these 4 walls, or maybe a few more because I do wander around the house as well. So I'm not really experiencing a life to write about. So at the minute I've not felt inspired as much. So what I've tried to do when I've got the chance, because I've got the microphone here, that's my little home studio corner. I've been trying to record where I can. I've lent vocals to a few tracks. That I've got a friend who's been doing some backing tracks as well. So he's sent a couple of tracks to me, and I've recorded vocals for him. So that's been nice. I think that helped kind of kickstart a little bit of me getting back into it a bit more, because I was kind of stuck in a bit of a rut, not quite knowing where to go with it. I think like many of us, you kind of turn and it's like, what am I meant to do now? So I think it's when you're out and about. I mean, I'm as you're talking about gigs. I mean, I was used to doing at least 100 gigs a year, and all of a sudden, from as much as we hit lockdown in March, I think I had a few cancelled earlier than that. And then everything from March. So all the festivals that should be at, I mean, I should be at a festival this weekend, have all just gone. So it's been kind of strange. It's been nice actually being at home as well, not being out of a weekend night. But yeah, it's been a strange one. I can understand everyone's confusion, because it is such a confusing time. It's just I've barely left the house unless I've really needed to.
And it's an interesting point you make there, because you're not the first songwriter who said that to me just recently. That on the one hand, you think, well, we got all this bonus time, we should be able to write 10 songs, But actually, if you're not out there and you're not drawing inspiration, because we're at a standstill. You know, where's the songs going to come from? And it's a funny little, like you say, it's a strange situation, and for a lot of people as well, it's a very dark situation, this lockdown. And I'm very grateful that I've not suffered with it. Touch wood, and God willing, I haven't suffered with it from a physical point of view. And generally speaking, I'm okay in my own company, so isolation's not a problem. But I'm conscious every day that for lots of other people, it's a totally different story. There's been heartache through loss, and there's been heartache through just the general situation itself. Some people don't cope well with isolation or lack of contact. But you know, it's kind of incumbent on us as musicians and artists. We go out there and sing our songs. We try to sort of instill some hope in people. If you had a message, Gareth, for anybody watching this who's maybe not having such a good time right now, what would you say to them?
I think the main thing I'd say is nothing lasts forever. You know, I think if we look at this in the greater scheme of our lives, this is going to be, as much as it is a defining period, it's still only going to be a period of our lives. It's not going to be all of it. But the other thing I'll say is to everyone, whether you're having a good time or not, whether you're enjoying it. I mean, I don't mind being alone. We haven't had much time of alone time with having the kids at home as well. But I'm kind of okay. But even if you're having an okay time, and I'd say reach out to your friends, just make sure they're doing okay. Because it is hard. I think whether or not, if you're good in your own company, great. But there's still gonna be moments that you're gonna go, oh, you know what? I wish I could hang out with someone. I wish I could have a beer and a laugh with this mate or that mate or whoever. I think just, especially when we're in our good place, when we can kind of be a shoulder for someone, reach out to each other. You know, just keep that contact. I mean, I think as humans, we do crave contact at some point with other people. So just have them conversations, do video chats. So jump on all the places you can jump on. So you've got, you know, Facebook and WhatsApp, just video chat each other. Have a chat. It's nice to see a face when you chat as well. I always find. So yeah, just keep talking.
Nice one, Gareth. I totally agree with that, and good words. Apologies, by the way, if I keep rubbing my eye. I'm not tired or distracted, but my hay fever's kicking off really bad today. That's why I keep touching my eye. So, but you're right. Like, nothing lasts forever, and I think that's a really good message. We're going to come out of this at some point, and our hope is, and we're still pressing ahead, and God willing, that when we do come out of this, we'll have Halton Rocks to enjoy on October the 10th.
Yep.
One of the things we're lucky with Halton Rocks, I mean, I think I was saying to someone, I think this is my 10th year now, and we've put 10 acts on every year, and we never struggle for acts. We're never short, you know. We've always got plenty of people volunteering, putting a hand up, saying, "I'll do that." And you're one of the people who do it, and we're grateful for it. So my question to you is why? And why do you always say yes? Why do you always keep coming back? And for anybody watching this, why is Halton Rocks important?
Well, I think that the first year, before you really know anything about it, the first year you want to play. You know, you've heard it's a good gig, so you want to play. And then you go and play, and you meet some of the people there, and you realise that you meet some great people there. And then you find out the cause. And for me, you know, absolutely phenomenal. And you asked me to go and play up at the Headswell Children's Centre a couple of years back. And that was one of the greatest days of my life, of meeting them kids and just being so inspired by them. Because I think, you know, it's so easy to understand their difficulties, and then you almost feel sorry for them until you spend time with any children that are in that position, and you realise that they just make the best of everything. And it's, I mean, for me, it was absolutely mind blowing. I thought it was going to be another fun day, as I've said to you before, when we went up there. And we turned up there, and it was like, my kids were like, "This place looks great." I'm like, "This place does look great." And then I came in with you, and I had to sign in. And I met some of the kids, and I was like, I knew pretty much straight away. I was like, this is going to be something special. And it really was. So for me, if I can be involved in any way to try and make that a better life for them in any way that I can, and then I'm there. I'm all for it. I mean, I'm happy to give my time for charities when I can. I think it's something important to try and give back. I might not have a lot of cash, but if I can give time, I'm definitely more than willing to do it.
Brilliant, Gareth. Good on you. Thank you for that. I couldn't put it any better myself. And like you say, the day when you came up and played in front of the kids, we put a mini music festival on at the camp itself. And you're right to say that was a special day. And I think we knew early on in the day it was going to be a special day, and it really was. And I'm loath in a way to talk about everybody who came and helped out, because if I forgot someone, I wouldn't forgive myself. But there was quite a lot of members of the local music scene came up and did a few songs. Not only doing a few songs, but Cy Stanley and Amy McCann came and did a soundstage for us and everything. And it was so special. We did it like a festival. The kids all did the face painting, and we had 2 stages and we had banners, and it was just like a music festival for the kids. And it was very, very special. What I loved about it is when we do Halton Rocks, and I tell the artist how thankful I am that they're helping us raise money. I can only explain it in my own words, and your own words can only explain it so far. But to have the opportunity to take some of you people who've helped us out from our community and come see it for yourself, that hits home more than any words. Is that right, Gareth?
Oh, absolutely. I don't think you could explain it. I mean, you explained it really well, and that's why so many of us come back and go, yeah, more than happy to help out again. But I think it's when you see it, it's kind of, you meet the kids and then you feel it. I mean, there's something there, and you feel it, and you meet the kids, and it's something absolutely special. And then speaking to the likes of Paul Hammond, who I met only a couple of years back. We both played at the same Authentic Acoustic at the studio. I now consider him a great friend, and he talks about his experiences there, and it's like, yeah, you can see it's something special. It gives them somewhere where the kids aren't different. They go there and they're just kids. They're not seen as having disabilities. They're seen as being children first. And I think that makes it so much special for them, because for anyone that's got any type of physical disability, going out in public can be hard because people do stare. You're in a wheelchair and people do stare, and especially other kids, and mostly kids do it out of interest, rather than anything untoward. The kids are just interested. They want to know why things are different. But when these children get to go there, they're not different. They're children. And I think that is one of the reasons why it makes it so wonderful for them. It gives them a chance to be kids first.
Brilliant. And yeah, you're absolutely right. And thank you for those words and for describing our charity so well. It really is a special charity. And for everybody watching this video who's maybe more interested now in the charity than they were before this conversation, when we put these videos out across the bottom of the screen, I'll be inserting the web address. So if anybody's interested, please follow the web address. And if you can do anything to help the Heswall Disabled Children's Holiday Fund, anything at all, please do. Okay, Gareth, so we've talked a little bit about your story and your evolution on the music scene, the acts you've been in, and what's influenced you, and we've talked about the lockdown and quite a range of subjects. So I know I'm going to hold you to my threat of a song towards the end, but before we do, let's have a silly question, because I'm asking a silly question to everybody who I speak to at the moment to finish with. So we're in this lockdown, and we hope and we think and we pray we're relatively near the end of it. But let's say, God forbid, and for argument's sake, some event were to occur and you've got to do another 12 weeks in lockdown. Except this time, you're allowed to choose one person from the local music scene to spend your lockdown with. I want to know who would it be and why.
Oh heck! You know what? I reckon it's probably gonna have to be one of the bandmates. It's probably not that much common knowledge, but I have now got a band together. We were only in our infancy of rehearsing my songs, but we were about to go public on the 30th of March, 1 week after we got locked down. We were due to make our first public appearance in Liverpool. So that didn't happen. So it'd probably have to be one of them, I think. If I could smuggle all of them in at once and keep them in the living room, that'd be great. But you know what? That's a really hard question.
Sorry.
Really especially I've got five other band members as well.
Well, just pick the one you hate the least.
No, you know what? As much as I love the band, I'm not gonna pick any of the bands, so they can all be equally annoyed with me. I'm probably gonna pick my soul brother, Mr. David Cannon, who's such a great songwriter. Plus, my kids would be happy because he'd bring his little dog with him, Digby. So I'd have to pick David Cannon, because we are great mates, and we chat all the time. And plus, he's a great singer in his own right. He really is. So yeah, I'd have to say Dave, and then we could sit here and we could play sweet music for the 12 weeks. It'd probably be quite enjoyable. And Dave is a bit random at times, so it'd be quite interesting as well.
All right, Dave. Well, if you're watching this, there you go. If Gareth could lock down with any one person in the world, my friend, it'd be you. Now, we're just going back to the start of the video, Gareth. You appeared on my screen there, and I felt a little bit like, you know, at first it was like Christmas morning, and I was excited to see you, and then there you were, not wearing your hat, and I'm upstairs in the spare room at the minute, and I saw you not wearing your hat for me. I contemplated jumping out the window. That's how despondent I was. But you've promised to put things right for me now and play a little song. What would you like to play for us, Gareth?
You know what? I'm going to play because I haven't actually mentioned it once in the interview as much as, and it's because I'm really, really bad at the PR stuff. So I released a single back on the 1st of May. So not even 4 weeks ago at the time of recording.
So this single you're going to do for us, what's it called?
It's called Hold You in My Dreams.
Hold You in My Dreams. Okay, so just before you play that, I'm going to thank you, because this will be my last word. So I'm going to thank you for your time, for doing an interview for us. I'm going to thank you for Halton Rocks. I'm going to apologise about my hay fever and the fact I've been touching my eyes the whole time. And we're going to finish with the new single by Gareth Eason, a special version for us, and it's called Hold You in My Dreams.
Yep. The prettiest thing I ever seen, like you were made from all my dreams, and you hold my heart there with you. Nothing I can do to keep me falling so madly deeply, oh, the way I do. One day I'll be brave enough to not tell you about this love for now. Hold you in my dreams, hold you in my dreams. Know if you had just one look, well, you'd read me like a book and see your name on every line. Planned it out 1,000 ways, so all the perfect words are saying I'd say them maybe next time. One day I'll be brave enough and I'll tell you about this love for now. Hold you in my dreams, hold you in my dreams. And if I said those words to you, oh, tell me what would you do with your life? You hold me tight. Each time I try to say those words, my heart pounds more so scared, and then you're gone. You're out of sight. One day I'll be brave enough and I'll tell you about this love for now. Hold you in my dreams, hold you in my dreams. Oh, we'll while away all the perfect summer days. Watch the sun go down, see the lights come on in town, celebrate this love we found. If one day I was brave enough and I told you about this love I know, I still hold you in my dreams.